January 1st. Hold on. Okay. Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Weird Wednesday video. I feel like it was about this time last year I did a video about upcoming horror movies for 2015. So seeing as, what's today? The 30th? Seeing as, oh, on Friday, wow, like, man, this is sooner than I thought. Seeing how on Friday we will be in 2016, I will talk about some of the upcoming horror movies coming in the new year. The list is a little bit short only because the ones I put on here, I just wanted to keep the ones that are more sure things, I guess. A lot of times if you were to look up, like if you were just to Google 2016 horror movies, you might see stuff like The Purge 3 or The Conjuring 2, which I saw a lot on there, but those are just like, they're not, they might have a release date next to them and things like that, but normally it's like just a title, no movie poster or anything like that. Obviously no trailer. I tend to not include those in my lists when I'm researching this sort of thing because obviously there's no information because they probably have not started production yet, probably haven't started casting yet, or maybe are just starting casting it, so there's really no information for me to give you other than, oh, we might have a second Conjuring, or oh, we might have a third Purge. So the ones I did include on the list are ones that are for sure coming out in the next month or so. Most of them have trailers, if not at least information like on the cast, director, and stuff like that, so you can look these up if any of them sound interesting. So yeah, those are mostly the ones that made it on the list, or the ones that I thought I'm gonna be most interested in seeing. So yeah, and these are in no particular order. They're not even in order of when they come out in 2016, like they're just here. Two of the ones that I put on the list are on this list because I keep walking past their posters at work at the movie theater, so I know for sure that these are gonna come out soon. I have, The Witch, which is The Witch, The Witch, which is coming out February 26th. It looks quite interesting. It's like, it's supposed to be set in like, sorry, I'm just gonna adjust my seat here. It's set in like the 1600s or something like that, and it's like a family that moves out like to the woods, and a child goes missing, and then all these like disturbing things start happening to them, and I guess they just like kind of start to unravel. Yeah, I'm not good with summaries. I didn't say this before, but I will put all of the trailers that are available down below so you can check them out if you want to watch the trailers. It looks really unnerving. Like the trailer is just a little bit unnerving for me to watch. I don't know what it was about it, but it looks interesting enough, and it looks a little bit different from most other horror movies. I'm not saying it's the first of its kind as far as story goes and things like that, but it looks different enough for me. I like the ones that kind of go against the grain. And then the second one I've talked about before comes out January 8th and is called The Forest, which is the one that is set in Aokigahara, which is the suicide forest at the base of Mount Fuji in Japan. Talked about that forest, the real place, in my last Weird Wednesday video, which I guess I'll link below if you're curious about that place. Again, it looks fairly okay. It looks like your typical mainstream horror movie, but I got no problem with those. Like, I'm not picky when it comes to that sort of thing. Like, if it's a decent horror movie, whether it's mainstream or not, it's decent, you know? Alright. Which one should I talk about next? I put this one on the list. It was also on my 2015 list, but as I understand it, Mr. Rob Zombie is having some issues getting this movie released. It is his newest project, 31, which is a very, very anticipated horror film for anyone who's a fan of Rob Zombie flicks. As I understand it, it has to do with clowns, but I think it's supposed to be like a game show or something like that. I feel like a lot of the plot is kind of kept under wraps, you know, but it has something to do with like some sort of like sadistic game show type of theme dealing with clowns, which is, knowing Rob Zombie, he should anyone who's not already afraid of clowns is probably going to be wary of them after seeing this movie, I'm sure. I know I'm not afraid of clowns, and I'm probably going to be scarred a little bit. I think he's been having issues getting the rating down for the MPAA so it can be released. He's working on getting it down to an R, so I guess they saw the movie, or the MPAA saw the movie and gave it an NC-17 rating, which any of you who aren't familiar with the American movie rating system, if the MPAA gives your movie an NC-17, you're pretty much guaranteed that no movie theater is going to distribute it. If you don't know, NC-17 means nobody under the age of 18 can see the movie, period. Which differs slightly from R. If you're under 18, you can go see the movie as long as you have somebody who is of age with you. NC-17, it doesn't matter who is with you. It doesn't matter if the person with you is 45, 57, 63. You cannot go see an NC-17 rated movie in a theater. So any movie rated NC-17 is kind of a death sentence. So I am anticipating this movie. Hopefully Mr. Zombie can wrestle with the MPAA a little bit. They are very firm in their decisions, so if you don't change what they want you to change, they're not going to change the rating. Next one doesn't have a release date yet, but it's called Cell, and it is based on a 2006 Stephen King novel. I think it came out in 2006. But it looks sort of like just the brief kind of plot summary I read looks sort of like maybe like some sort of like, not zombie, but like a virus type of movie that has to do with the use of cell phones. So it looks very very topical to this generation sort of thing. It looks interesting enough, and it's Stephen King, so I'm sure it's going to be disturbing. That one does not have a release date yet, so it also doesn't have a trailer, but I'll link information below. Alright. Another one, which was on my 2015 list, I guess the release date got pushed back to the next year, is Amityville: The Awakening, which is just kind of like it's not a remake, or it's not, I don't really know if I would call it a sequel. Maybe it's kind of more like Poltergeist, how they call it, like a reimagining. It might just be kind of like another take on the Amityville story. Supposed to come out this year, April 16th, so we'll see about that. And there have been trailers out for that for a while, so I'll link that below. Another one coming out next month, The Boy, which is the one starring, oh god, what is her name? I see it every Sunday when I watch The Walking Dead on there. She plays Maggie on The Walking Dead, and I don't know why her name is escaping me right now. Like I said, I see it like every Sunday in the opening credits of The Walking Dead, and my phone is not close enough for me to look it up and kick myself for not remembering. It's something easy, like Lauren something, right? Whatever. Okay, that one looks meh. It looks pretty meh. I'm sure most of you have seen the trailer out there if you've been to a movie theater to see a horror movie recently. I'm sure the trailer was in front of it. Dolls don't really scare me that much. No. Especially this, like, I don't know. Dolls just don't really scare me. One I saw that was interesting, I haven't seen anything about this until I researched what movies were coming out. It's called Nina Forever. And I clicked on it because the lead actress in it looks disturbingly like Mila Kunis. I was like, a horror movie with Mila Kunis. Why didn't I hear about this sooner? It's actually not her. But she looks she really looks like her. It's kind of scary. Anyways, it's called Nina Forever, and it looks like a horror comedy from the UK. So I think this was the US release date. I wrote down February 12th. I can't remember if that was the US release date or the UK release date, but it looks kind of funny. Another Dead X comedy, which I feel like I might be completely wrong, and maybe there's only one other movie like this, but I feel like there's a lot of like kind of like Dead X horror comedies out there, like, you know, or like relationships involving zombies sort of thing, or coming back from the dead. I don't know. What's that supposed to mean? Why are people making lots of movies about that recently, huh? What are they trying to say? It looks kind of funny. Again, it looks like it comes from the UK, so the humor is probably going to be super dry, and I got that from the trailer a lot. I find that funny. Not everybody does. Again, I'll leave the trailer down below. One that looked a little bit interesting. There's only a teaser trailer, so it's very, very short. It's supposed to come out October 25th, called Strangers Within. Looks like a home invasion type movie, which should be terrifying to everybody. That's terrifying to me. I guess not should be terrifying to everybody. Maybe that doesn't scare you. That scares me. I don't know. The teaser trailer looked interesting. It drew me in enough. And it has to do with like, kind of like, looks like preteen kind of age things, which is kind of scary, like them being home alone and something like that happening. Like, ugh. Okay. So that looks interesting. Another one I'm super jazzed about. I think this is the US release date. I'm pretty sure this already came out, but the US release date is February 5th. It is Regression, which is technically, looks like a thriller starring Emma Watson and Ethan Hawke. And the only reason it's on this list is because Emma Watson is in it, and I'm like #1 fan of Emma Watson. I love that lady. She is, again, I can make another video just on why I love Emma Watson. She's an amazing person. Anyways, has nothing to do with with this. It's technically a thriller, but it looks kind of creepy. I guess Emma Watson is playing a girl who is sexually abused by her father, and it somehow has to do with like this conspiracy kind of thing, which they kind of keep it kind of mysterious in the trailer. So I guess it's one of those, it's a thriller, so it's probably gonna unravel as you watch it, but it looks interesting. I'm interested to see like what the conspiracy is and what's going on with that. It almost feels like it might kind of have like, what's that movie called? An American Haunting? Is that what it is? The one where it's like, the one where the family thinks they've been cursed by a witch because the daughter is being attacked by an unknown force, and it turns out it's like she was being sexually abused by her father. And you guys know what? Is it American Haunting? If I remember, if I figure out the title, I'll put it down below. It seems like Regression. I get the feeling that it's gonna kind of turn out like that, but I could be wrong. Let's see, which ones haven't I talked about yet? Okay. Oh, one I'm super excited about. It says release date is January 1st. I don't really know about that, but it's called Yoga Hosers, which is the second movie in Kevin Smith's True North trilogy, which is like kind of like a horror comedy type of thing. The first of that True North trilogy was Tusk. If you remember, I did a movie review on that. And Tusk was definitely an experience. If you haven't seen it, honestly, just don't look up anything about the movie. Just go rent it, whatever, and just watch it and just let it happen to you. It's an experience. But Yoga Hosers is going to be centered around, if you saw Tusk, the two girls in the convenience store that work in the convenience store, I guess it's supposed to be centered around those two characters. And at least based on the stills that I saw from that movie, it looks like it's going to be another experience. Okay, lastly, but certainly not leastly, probably the movie I'm most excited about, probably the least like a horror movie, but Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. I'm sorry. I'm so excited for that movie. I absolutely love the book. I don't know if my Aunt Linda watches these. Aunt Linda, if you watch this, I'm so sorry. If you watch my videos, I'm so sorry. But I did read Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, and I love that book. I grew up reading Jane Austen thanks to my Aunt Linda, who I'm probably not even speaking to because she probably doesn't watch this, but she got me into Jane Austen, and she's obsessed with Jane Austen as well. So naturally, when those books came out, Seth Grahame-Smith, who wrote Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, he also wrote Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, Sense and Sensibility, and Sea Monsters. Love them both. And I'm sorry, the movie just looks badass as fuck. I am so excited for this. It's supposed to come out February 5th. Cannot wait. Hopefully it's not like American, oh god, I can't get anything right today. Hopefully it's not like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, because I found the book to be awesome. I loved that book. I did a creepy book club on it. I loved it so much. The movie was shit. To put it simply, the movie was shit. So I'm hoping that this movie, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, does the book justice. I mean, it's really essentially just the same story of Pride and Prejudice. You just add zombies in it. That's it. So you can't really get that wrong, right? Hopefully. Anyway, so that's all I put on my list. If you have any other horror movies that you know of coming out in 2016, let me know about them in the comment section down below, and link trailers and stuff if you can. As I said, I'll link all the trailers, if there are any, for the movies down below. And let me know what movie you're most excited for coming in 2016. Yeah, so I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice. And thank you if you were subscribed already. And until next time, stay strong.